I rarely use black straight out of the tube in my own landscape painting, and it's not because black is bad, it's because black can look very flat. So today I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like and how to fix it. Let's get started. Black paint is not neutral. Some tubes lean to the cool side, like ivory black, and others lean to the warm side, like Mars black. And in landscape painting, temperature creates depth. You see cool colors recede and warm colors advance, and dark is not actually black. So instead of using black, because we typically don't see true, pure, flat black in nature, we're actually going to be using dark colors. Think dark violet, dark blue, and dark green. Now for our first fake black, we are going to be making probably the darkest of the three in acrylic paints, which is violet. So I'm going to switch my things around here. To make violet, we are going to need Alizarin Crimson and Ultramarine Blue. We have Phthalo and Cadmium, but they make a muddy violet, so that is why we use these two. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a chunk of my blue and a chunk of my red, and I'm going to mix them together. Now, violet is our darkest of all of the pigmented colors, so it should be fairly dark on its own. So violet alone is pretty dark. It comes out as a very deep color on our palette. So in general, this is the one I like to reach for when I need to create a lot of visual darkness. We typically see violets in things that are closer to us. Think dark shadows on trees or dark shadows on up close rocks. So that is what it looks like on its own. But if I want to make this even more closer to black, we have to desaturate it first. To desaturate violet, all we're going to do is we are going to add a little bit of its complementary color, because complementary colors desaturate. So the complementary color of violet is yellow, so I'm going to take some of my cadmium yellow medium, and a little goes a long way, especially with yellow, because it can lighten things up and we want darkness. So I'm going to start pretty small, and I'm going to mix this into all of my violet. Now I added a little bit too much yellow, which is why I had to add a little bit more blue and red back in. And my red was a little bit strong, so I added a little bit more blue than red. But this is more desaturated than what we created earlier. So when we use this, it'll look less bright and vibrant and much more dark compared to what we had before. And you can push this even further. But typically I find a couple coats of this works pretty good. And so just like that, we have our fake violet colors. Up next is our Phthalo Blue or dark blue color, which is going to be this guy right here. Now the complementary color for blue is orange, so I'm going to start there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a good chunk of yellow, and I want to start small. I want to take a little bit of red because red can be really overpowering. And I'm going to make a pretty solid orange color. So with my orange color, I am now going to take a chunk of blue, I'm going to move it off to the side, and just like we did with the violet, I'm going to take a little bit of my orange color, and I'm going to start adding it to my blue. Now this can go green pretty quickly, and that's just because the yellow and the red pigment, yellow is a little bit stronger when it comes to Phthalo Blue. It likes to go green. So I always think of adding slowly, and if it starts to go green, it's pretty easy to adjust it back. All you have to do is add a little bit of red back in. I think we can go a little further even. So what this looks like for ours is this is what standard Phthalo Blue looks like, and again, Cobalt is the other version of this. You can use Ultramarine, but Ultramarine leans more violet, so that's why I'm using Phthalo Blue. And now for our muted version of Phthalo Blue, or our dark color. Nice deep blue. This works really good in backgrounds, especially in like the deep dark shadows of your forest area. Sometimes I like to mix the two together, and that makes a really strong black, the dark violet color and the dark blue color. But you can see this is pretty dark, which gives us a good range of darkness. So now our last but certainly not least is green. We use a lot of green in landscapes. So for green, it is just yellow and blue. We don't want to use this blue, we want to use Phthalo Blue because Phthalo Blue is closer to true blue, and a little goes a long way. Phthalo is one of those really strong colors, which I know is why a lot of people prefer cobalt over phthalo, but I like phthalo, and maybe it's just because that's what I grew up using. Alright, so now that I have my green color, we are going to add the complement of green, which is red. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of red and add that in to just some of my green. We'll move it over here. I can also make this a little darker by adding a little bit of blue back into it. So there is a little bit of play you have some room for. Blue is the darker of the pigments, which is why if you add a little bit of blue back in, it will make it appear darker. It's the same thing for violet. And that's also because of warmer darks coming forward and cooler darks coming backwards. If we add blue to make our dark even cooler, it will appear that it is darker than our warm dark colors. And so for our last color swatches, you can see that we have a very lovely shade of vibrant green. Compared to our dark green. And this is more what we use for trees, underbrush. Sometimes we use this for sides of mountains. So it's one we use a lot. I think we use mostly these two in the background and mostly these two in the foreground. And so there is our version of fake black colors, and this is what we use to create darkness in our paintings. Black paint out of the tube is only one temperature, while these dark colors we can shift to either be warmer or cooler, creating depth. Think of it more as we are not making black, but we are controlling darkness. So I don't use black in my painting. Instead, I prefer to use dark colors to help control the depth of my landscape. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned because next I'll be showing you how to create a neutral, natural landscape palette that you can use on all of your landscape paintings.